Okay, so we're going to start our fourth painting on the beach at Accra, and we're going to have a go at a beach scene with a starfish tucked under the wave. So we're going to begin with our canvas. We've got some colours here, and then the beach is pretty much empty, and we're going to start with a wide brush. So with our wide brush, we start with a background. We try to get that background done. Now I'm going to dip that brush into my seawater. That's the water I use. And then I'm going to take the brush, actually before I do anything, I'm going to do a little mark with my beige. So I've got two beige. This is actually a little golden in it. And then we're going to take a beige colour, and I'm just going to do a little line to mark. Do you see the division between the sea and the sand? So we're just going to do a little curve. It doesn't have to be so sharp, it could be gentle. And that is the division between the sea and the sand. So with that same colour, I'm going to get a little bit more on my paintbrush, and I'm going to cover that bottom part with the sand. Now I start with the sand first because I find that once my water is clean and my brush is clean and my palette is nice and clean, I call it clean because the colours are cleanly put in each position, I find that it just keeps my sand clean. So rather than me go into the darks with the sea, I start for this particular painting, and I find that every painting that you do, you have to think about like a strategy, a plan. What is going to work best. You could do the outline first, you could do the background, you could do... So it really depends. I know there are some particular art rules, but especially when we're painting so quickly, again, this is going to be a quick one. There we go. And I've got two shades, the golden, that's what I really like, a little nip. I try not to put too many other colours in it to confuse it. Just put that in. We can do shades and bits later. You see I've even got strokes of blue and slight purple in there, but we can play around with that later. So straight across. Again, the sand needs, as you see right there, it's very rugged, isn't it? All those footprints, and it's not that perfect flat surface that you would like to do. I remember always being told, draw what you see or paint what you see, not what you think you see. Remember that. Growing up. There you go. So we've got our canvas here. Now remember, I'm holding my phone, would you believe, in my left hand, and I'm painting with my right. It's a challenge for you. Okay, so that's it. That's our sand done, and we can make it a little bit more detailed later on. And then we're going to go in with the blues. Now, I would say to do deep dark blues, then lighter blues, and then even lighter blues to come forward. And we'll put that white water in later. So as always, I have a whole range of blues. Now I'm going to go this time in with my darks. Oh, I didn't put any purple in there. Darks, and we go. Now you want the way your brush, the way you want your water is usually the way you are going to brush your brush strokes. Now you may want a swirly water, you may want a zigzag water. You go with the brush however you want. Now I'm going to take this and swirl. Think of that swirl. You see the swirls that go up there? So we've got that swirl, and we're going to have a go deep dark blue, a nice navy blue right in the corner there. Now I didn't put any purple in, so I'm going to do my little trick, put in it's a bit of burgundy there, deepen up the corner. Let's see if I can make... There you go. Now you notice someone's missing this evening. Actually, I'm doing an evening one. I actually fancied coming as the sun was setting. Usually on a Tuesday I do my Lush Brush classes at the Tiki Bar. And so if you look at the Tiki Bar there, you'll see tucked behind the tree, Tiki Bar is empty and Tiki Bar is closed. So no more Lush Brush for me. That is why I'm doing these. The heart behind these is really some of my friends in England who've got children who they're trying to find activities for, and some people who've been to Barbados and they want a little reminder of that sea and the sand and the sun. I'm doing that as well for them. I've had so much response. It's really nice, and it keeps going, you know. All these messages to say the paintings are on. You see how my brush strokes are very loose, and I love, this is a brush, I like the size of it, and I like the, it's not too soft or floppy, and it's not too firm, because if it's too firm you can't get the flow. You want a nice medium brush. So going in here and then a little lighter. I love that. I was just swimming just a minute ago, and it was a turtle head just popped up for a little breath of air. It was quite sweet. I did the turtle in my last session, so I really thought that was quite cute. Came to say hello. Okay, so I'm putting in a few of these strokes to lighten up. I love this colour here. Always put too much in. My paints, I'd rather have too much than not enough, so there you go. That's fine. So when we've done that, I've left a little space. We're going to play around with that later because we've got the white water here and we want to put that in at the end. So now the plan is, let's actually go a little bit, like a few brushes here and a bit more here. There you go. I'm going to wash off again. I'm actually going to go deepen in a bit more. Oh, I forgot my napkin. There you go. I might even be a little naughty. I don't like to do it, but I'm going to put in a little black there. Just deepen up that. It gets more depth into your painting when you have some darker colours, so the lights. Just put a few. Bring that blue in. Bring it back through. See how the brush stroke is adding to that flow of where the water is sort of going. There you go. Lovely. Wash that off in my seawater. Have no idea how it affects the painting, it doesn't matter. Okay, now we have, we're actually going to do the outline of the starfish. So this is the hardest bit, for me anyway. So imagine the starfish tucked under. Starfish usually, I think it has 5, so there's 1, 2, 3 showing. Now, this is like my make or break. So I'm going to do an outline with the white. Oh, it's my safe bet. I don't know if any of you have noticed my sparkles. We can throw them in later. Another trick of mine. Now I'm trying to see if we can, so I'm going to hold it there. Now let's do this. So if the starfish is under there, let's tuck him under. Let's see if we can do a nice tuck under there. Now you may, let's see. Always like to start a little bit with a white. It gives me a little bit of sort of grace. So if I go, pretend it's going under, bring him out, little arms there. Try and tuck him under, arm there. Bring him. Now always do about 4 or 5 different lines to get that line that I really want. Let's make sure that you can see. The sun is actually, as it's setting, it's going in my eyes. So hopefully you can see this. Get that shape there. And we're going now. Tuck him up under. See that? I turn that around, that brush. And then from there we get another angle here. So remember, if I'm thinking 1, 2, 3 on this side, tuck another one, let's see. There. Have little nodules there. There you go. And imagine that we've got another one coming there, but we don't show that. This is the artistic license, I always say, and get away with a few things. If you tuck things under or fade them out. Okay, there's nothing to worry about there. So I'm pretty happy. I'm not going to fuss. I'm just doing this, as I say, we always do this for a little fun. If we worry about too much, then it's gonna, so go back in, make sure it's on, not too blobby, you see. And I can just go back over, and then I'm now securing that. I'm saying, yep, I'm happy with that. And we're gonna have a go at putting this firmly in. Whoops, sorry. Tuck him under. In here, and that's fine. Now I do have a little pen I do use for texture, so it's quite a big starfish that is for the canvas, in fact, but it doesn't matter, I'm not worried about that. Good. So what we're going to do now, we're going to take a little red. I love putting a little maroon colour. For some reason I've got into this little habit of throwing in a little maroon colour that lines the beach where we now can throw in the water. The splashing of the water we'll use at the end. So I'm just going to go over there, running out of my, put it under there, and then some edges there. So that we'll come back to. All right, now I'm going to use, now you don't have to use it, but I'm going to be using this for some of my texture. So what we'll, for my starfish that is, but what we can use, first of all, let's do a sort of a basic colour for the starfish. Let's choose this golden one here. And then just go over very lightly, almost like very pale in here. Now it's going grey, that's okay. We just want to make sure that we've got that starfish is all ready for some injection of colours. Now we can make the starfish any colour. I mean, even the whole thing, you could be really brave and say, well, I'm going to have a red sand or a green sea. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect natural colours. You could really play around with experimenting with sort of rainbow colours or whatever suits you. I'm not sure if you could hear the sea in the background. So we've popped in a base colour. From here, let's see if we can play around a bit with some textures. You know they have this, I'm going to see if you can see what I'm doing here. Now I hope that this sun is not, and what's going to happen in a minute is this is going to be very, very wet. And what I'm doing is bringing it up a bit, trying to get that sense there's that lovely pattern. I like to look at patterns in nature. Remember I was using the turtle and really enjoying the pattern on the back of the turtle shell and sort of almost exaggerating any of the textures that I see in nature. I love to do that and blow up to an unrealistic size. Different, like my bougainvillea, I have done a really large interpretation of a bougainvillea. So there you go, and that could be there. There are those little nodules at the end there. So far so good. We're now, let's see what we should do. I want that to dry, you see, but I might just deepen. Let's get some shades in our sand, sorry. So I'm going to go in here. I'm actually going to use a brush that's a little bit wider. Didn't really bring one, did I? Whoops, I'm sure if I did. So let's get some colours to make this sand look like there's a shadow. And always I try my best to avoid the black, but I do sort of go in here. It's turning real brown there, that's all right. You want that feeling that put it in under there, put this in under here, and then I might go in with a black there. Ching ching, there you go. 1, 2, 3. Under there. We try to lift it up. And you'll find every artist that you follow has lots of different, they have little tricks up their sleeve, little techniques, and I think that's the beauty of sort of having a go at looking at different people. My friend Megan, she came to visit us in Barbados and was passing around all these rocks. See, I got inspired by her to do a Bathsheba rock, and she's got some little step-by-steps as well, and I've been following her, and you get lots of different techniques from different people, so it's always worth to have a little peep. And then you decide what your own your own style is going to be. So hopefully that's popping up a bit. It's good. I'm going to try now to even, funny enough, lighten up using the lighter bit. Where are we now? 15 minutes. Oh, lighten up. We're nearly finished, you know. Lighten up a little here. Get a little, whoops. You want a little colour in this. Let's go to this colour. You see how random I'm not fussing too much, but I just like to get a little indication that something's happening on that sand that's yeah. That's okay. Little doggy, look at the dog. Ha, cute. There's always something happening. All right. Put it in. There you go. Fingertip. I've done a painting with all my fingertips once. I got so fed up with my brush that I decided that I'm going to look. See? There you go. I get to a place where my paintbrush is just not working for me, and I said, okay, right, that's it. I'm going in with my fingertip here. Now, making a little something going on. I don't like things too flat, so I always find little ways to try and make little something going on. So there you go. I got blue in this one. Oops. Oops. So you see that the sun is starting to lower, and you're getting that time where it's cooler. And all of a sudden it gets completely dark there. All right, so we are going to now do the fun bit. Now I put some pasty, I've got sand in there. Talk about texture. This is like a texture, it's a little white, but I put some pasty paint. Really wanted to go a bit crazy with this sea water, the splash. And we will splash later, yay. So taking the fingertip, that's a bit too much. Taking the fingertip, blobbing. We're going over some of that like maroon brown, some of it blobbing, if you can see that. Close up, blobbing. Some can fall over that line, and then we reveal the line a bit, and then back over. Now this is the bit where we're going over the top of the starfish. You can actually feel the sand under the... As I said, my favourite bit is that end bit where we splash with our brush, which I did for the pineapple, and I think I could have done with the turtle. What was the other one? Oh, not the palm tree. No, I didn't do that one. Okay, so there you go. We've got that splash right there. All right, so now we come in, and I actually want to, I'm going to get rid of this bit here. I might go in a little bit and just take off that little blues in there. Blues there. Okay, so we got, now I want to add with a little bit of